Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to another Tabletop RPG News Roundup, this time for September 14th, 2025. Damn, 2025. Where each week I take a look back at the week in Tabletop RPG news and bring you the highlights. And it'll be another week without images, mostly because my hand is in a bit of agony right now. I don't know what happened to it. Some sort of sprain, some sort of, I don't know, maybe CTS, I don't know. Since I'm a solo operation here, even positioning the thumbnails is going to be real difficult with this, so I think I'm going to do myself a solid and just skip them this week. Sorry about that. It'll come in later, and I'll have to... I got to my editing last night. I didn't finish it. I'll get some more editing done tomorrow, I hope. Anyway, we'll dive into minor and PDF releases. Dark Wizard Games has another adventure available, Hidden Shrine of the Warlord Chief. It's separately available in 5th edition and 1st edition versions. Grimm Press has Unearthed Spoils Anthology 2 for 5th edition, which collects material from Unearthed Spoils volumes 6 to 10, compiles them together, with a number of classes, background spells, items, creatures, and adventures. Song of the River Bride from Kelphicil's Tales is a 5th edition adventure where a spirit of grief has awakened and begins to bring back the dead to torment a village. Curse of Sarashar is another 5th edition adventure, this one a desert-themed one, where cults and relics are beginning to rise, influenced by an ancient temple from the sands. Gardar Realm, the Grand Compendium, is available in PDF and print-on-demand format and details a setting for 5th edition featuring a mix of techno-magic and Slavic folklore. The Dancing Sun Tavern's folio of evolving magical items presents some magical items for 5th edition that grow and change. Then there's another entry into the Sharper Visage group of magic item collections for 5th edition, this time called Arcano Caboodle. Is Sharper Image even still a thing? I remember that from like the late 90s, I think. I don't know. We used to get catalogs of that because it was mostly just like executive toys and trinkets for people that had more money than sense, that kind of thing. Anyway, the Dragon's Hoard number 58 from Legendary Games is another of their 5th edition based magazines that presents material from items to spells to options, monsters, etc. Bloat Games has the Overworld Omnibus, a collection of monsters inspired by retro video games. It comes in 5th edition as well as DCC RPG versions. Clans and Cave Lions is another adaptation of 5th edition rules to prehistoric style settings, this time set during the last Ice Age. Kobold Press has Monster Vault 2 for Tales of the Valiant, which contains a huge number of creatures compatible with that system and honestly any similar 5th edition derived system. The Devoured Labyrinth is a hex crawl adventure for the Shadow Dark RPG that includes many small and large dungeons set around 5 distinct regions and including its own level 0 gauntlet. Then Grotto of the River Pirates is a more modest Shadow Dark adventure, this one focusing on a pirate gang in a flooded grotto. Adventures Dark and Deep Light is now available as a PDF and in print on demand and takes the ideas of the Adventures Dark and Deep system, which was originally itself designed to continue the ideas of RPGs as if Gary Gygax never left TSR. I need to take a look at it one day, maybe when I get back to reviewing my old school style tabletop RPGs. Anyway, this one pairs it down the other way for a simplified, relatively rules light and limited level of gaming system for quick OSR play. Then there's Gary's Appendix number 8, an OSR Old School Essentials focused magazine that includes a collection of articles from a variety of authors, as well as a collection of monsters for OSE specifically. Mega Dungeon Monster Manual Monochrome Edition is now available in print format. In fact, print format only from the looks of it. Is essentially a compilation of monsters from Barrow Maze, Forbidden Caverns of Archaea, Dwaro Deep or whatever, all compiled into a single volume. Echoes from Fomalhaut, number 13, Isle of the Ascended Ones, is an OSR fanzine that includes material for Osric and related systems, including a dungeon adventure, an infiltration mission, and a ruined tower. Creature Feature Quarterly, Volume 15, for Old School Essentials, is another entry into a group of brief monster collections, which includes not just stat blocks, but lore, art, etc. for the included monsters. I think each of these has contained like around a dozen, maybe a little bit over a dozen creatures. Anyway, the Nefarious Crypt of Uztum the Accursed is an OSR-style adventure for low-level characters, specifically for the Adventure in the East Mark system, although it should be relatively compatible with other OSR systems. The Matter Hag, Issue 6, is an OSR zine that includes new monsters, rules for conjuring fiends, new spells, sonics, and so on. Lazy Panda has the 5 Thrones, Volume 3, The Living Throne, which each part of this 5-part series offers a single tyrannical domain in detail. The Gods of Troll World is a collection of deities to be used with monsters, and similar systems, which being, I think there's only one similar system, but I guess they don't own the rights to it anymore. Quest generator for use with Dragonbane RPG is exactly what it says, a brief quest generator for Dragonbane. Ninth Level Games has a few offerings for the Mazes Fantasy RPG. There's Module 37, The Chamber of Realms, Module 38, Quest for the Fire Sword, and then monthly adventure subscription year 4, which will include 12 future adventures once a month for 1 year. Valraven, The Chronicles of Blood and Iron, is a core book that includes a narrative-focused RPG system and a grim fantasy setting. Then there's the Book of the Eclipse for Valraven, which is an expansion that includes toolkits for the various modes of play within, as well as scenarios and a solo mode. Beneath the Blizzard is a Daggerheart adventure, this one dealing with a tether linking the capital city into the icy wilds, and the characters are sent out to figure out why that tether even exists. Gates of Crystalia, JRPG-inspired tabletop RPG. I think it's like card-based too, so that's why I don't usually cover offerings for it. But hey, it's got a Last Do expansion. It is a collection of new options, settings, and challenges. A Keeper's Guide to the World's Most Cursed Graveyards is a set of 30 legendary cemeteries from the real world that are detailed to be used for mystery and horror adventures from a variety of systems, I think. D6 Forge, Survival Terror, focuses the D6 multi-genre system into the isolation horror style genre, like the survival horror style genre. Finally, there is Starbreaker, Star Marines, which is an expansion for the Savage Worlds Starbreaker setting, which includes new options, gear, beasts, etc., I am assuming associated with Star Marines. And with that, let's take a look at crowdfunding campaigns. Remember that contributing to a crowdfunding campaign should be done only at your own risk. Doing so is no guarantee of even receiving a product. Mentioned here is not an endorsement, but it is for informational purposes only. Vault of the Sky Thieves will be a 5th edition adventure featuring flying ships, aerial combat, aerial creatures, and swashbuckling adventures in the clouds. The Wizard's Maze for 5th edition is looking to be a one-shot dealing with a maze of illusions where there have been strange vanishings. One Shot Wonders 2 will fund over 100 new one-shot adventures for 5th edition, as well as artwork, battle maps, new realms, etc. Hex is going to be a collection of 100 module adventures for 5th edition with a focus on dark magic, hidden lore, and sinister choices. Kagejima, Samurai's Vow, will be a 5th edition campaign setting inspired by samurai and epic duels. It looked like it'll be include a 3-act campaign with multiple endings. 100 Settlements will be a collection of villages, towns, and cities for 5th edition, all ready to use in a variety of environments, so you can just plug them right in. Feybound is looking to fund a 5th edition expansion focused on Fey magic with 6-player races, 10 subclasses, 100 plus monsters, as well as mechanics, magic items, and a full campaign setting with a 12-part adventure arc. Halley, A Rise of the Verdant Shadow, is looking to span the Halley region detailed within the Natural Magic set of zines with new magic items, monsters, as well as player options. Legendary Games has African Monsters No. 2, a collection of monsters from the legends of the continent of Africa. For 5th edition, as well as Pathfinder, both 1st and 2nd edition, as well as Tales of the Valiant compatible versions. Scarabs and More looks to be a 5th edition source book with a focus on magical insects, a sequel to the Wondrous Songbirds supplement. Familiars and I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have moved my hand. Anyway, Familiars and Companions is looking to get another entry into their series, this time with Celestials and Fiends, detailing various Celestial and Fiendish companions. You can summon, bond, befriend, etc. for 5th edition. Arcana Expanded will add new schools of magic, many new spells, some classes, some villain casters, and a number of magic items for 5th edition. Then Ancient Magic will be another 5th edition magic-based supplement, this one actually inspired by ancient sources from the real world. What Does This Do is looking to be a collection of magic items for 5th edition that will focus on humor, mystery, and charm. I'm assuming with items that it's not entirely clear what they do. Mind Scourge will be a guide to all 100 plus various madnesses, brain diseases, and so forth, as well as associated magic items, backgrounds, and feats for 5th edition and similar tabletop RPGs. The Lycan Pelt will be a brief grimdark adventure module for Shadow Dark and similar systems, which takes inspiration from various pulp horror and folklore sources. Horror in the Cornfield will be another Shadow Dark adventure, this one dealing with a cornfield-based dungeon, suitable for Halloween. Deadlands Dark Ages. This will be a Savage World offering that explores the Deadlands setting. Now, usually this is a Wild Weird West setting. This one takes it all the way back to 877 Britain, where the original combination of strange magic and such in the real world began. Finally, there is a Worldwide Wrestling 2nd Edition repackaged, a reprint of the Pro Wrestling tabletop RPG that focuses on narrative action. They're looking to print it in hardcover this time. And on that note, I will wrap things up here. This has been the RPG Crawler with my Tabletop RPG News Roundup for September 14th, 2025. If you like what you've seen, remember to leave a like, comment, and feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content. I seriously have to go through and basically catch up on all of the bookkeeping and such that I've done for this channel, that I have been unable to do for this channel all throughout the summer due to my mom's health and then my sheer exhaustion. I've got so much to catch up on, and I know this is a long story. Every time I say I do, it's not, it ends up not being to. But it's stuff like this would stop happening, I'd be able to catch up. Anyway, until next time, take care and goodbye. I'm going to put ice on this, I think. And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribestar, as well as channel memberships enabled. If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.